Hey guys, welcome to Brad's Crazy Life. In this video, we're going to go over some of the dangers that COs face every time they step into a prison. Often than not, though, the dangerous situations for a CO, it can be numerous things, and I could spend probably 5 hours going over the different situations. But I've come up with a couple that can be really dangerous when you're actually in the prison. One, and probably one of the most dangerous situations, is when an inmate is high, he's doped up, he's got synthetic marijuana in him. There's inmates that have passed out and died. They've smoked a hit, boom, drop dead. There's other ones that it caused them to, in one of the dorms that I was in, strip butt naked and run around the dorm and say the devil's chasing after them. These are things that you see on a daily basis. But one of the main things that you got to worry about is weapons. Now, me personally, I'd probably say anywhere between 20 and 35 Shanks, somewhere along that line in the year and a half, 2 years that I was a CO. That probably don't seem like a lot, but when you're searching every day, it's crazy where these inmates actually hide these Shanks. Now, I will put a picture up later on and show you. I have a picture of 4 of the Shanks that I actually found. And then whenever we moved, my wife decided that they wasn't no longer valid, so she threw them away. But I do have a picture to show you the different types of Shanks the inmates make. They're not going to make Shanks just out of metal. They're going to make Shanks out of plexiglass. They're going to make Shanks that fit inside of an ink pen. They're going to make Shanks out of bone. We stopped an inmate one time on the crosswalk. He kind of acted weird, so we started patting him down, and he actually had like a T-bone steak bone that he'd been sharpened and had a handle on it. The craziest things that you ever see when you go inside of a prison. Now I'm going to put this picture up right here. What we have here is a small collection of Shanks. It's 4 that I found, but the one in the middle actually has 3 of them that's bubble wrapped together. The far left one is actually a huge nail that's actually inside of an ink pen. The one next to it is actually a part of a baseboard that they ripped up and then sharpened. And then the very last one is probably the most dangerous. And you probably say, well, why is that? Well, that's because it's plexiglass. And as you know, there's metal detectors everywhere on that prison. The plexiglass, you can take it anywhere. Like I said in this video, these Shanks can be made out of absolutely anything. Now I'm going to actually tell you kind of where the inmates like to put these things. For one, an inmates like to have the Shanks hidden in day rooms or out in the open. They're 9 times out of 10, an inmate's not going to have a Shank in their bedroom. They're not going to have it in their mattress. The reason is because they don't want to get caught with it. Because if you get caught with a Shank, for one, you're going to get all your good time ripped away. 2, you're going to get put directly into confinement. And you could be there for 30, 60, 90 days for a Shank. They have zero tolerance for weapons inside of a prison. I mean, of course, it's not just because the weapons can be used on CO. It's because the weapons can actually be used on other inmates. Now, some of the places, day rooms, we have found Shanks underneath benches. We have found Shanks in the water fountain. They've literally took the water fountain off, stuck it in the water fountain, put the water fountain back. We have found in the actual cork board that was actually hanging on the wall, they actually took the cork board out, put a hole in the wall, and then put the cork board back so you couldn't see it. One of the craziest ones that I ever found was a Shank, and I kid you not, it was probably about this long, and I was actually on the railing of the stairs, because in the T building there's stairs that go up, and the stairs are like this, and on that I started running my hand along the inside of the rail, and when I hit almost the top of the rail, I actually felt something, and I'm like, what in the world is that? Now, I had been right next to this shank, passing out mail, probably for weeks and weeks on end, and probably didn't even know it was there. But this night, I decided to go out. I was bored and just look around. And I hit it. I am no joke. It was about this long, but on the end of it, it actually had a magnet. Now, this magnet was attached to the shank and then attached to the underside of the actual railing. So that, on the bottom of the rail, it would hold one, but this was actually to the top part of that rail. I don't know how in the world I found it, but I did. A lot of the places that they like to try to hide them is in air conditioners. In the T buildings, they have a big circular fans. They don't have air conditioners. They have a big circular fan. A lot of people don't realize this, but in the state of Florida, at the prison that I actually served at, the only air conditioners are in the officer station. Inmates don't get AC at the prison that I was at. But they do have like a big industrial fan that circulates the air throughout. And there's a lip on the inside of that fan that goes all the way around. And you can barely get in there with a finger. But what these inmates will do is they'll actually throw that shank and slide it in there. And then what they'll do is they'll take a stick or a magnet or whatever, and they'll reach in there and then I'll actually work it way out. And we found the most shanks I've ever found in the picture that I just showed was 4 shanks in one night. That's a lot of shanks. And I tell you another place that they like to put them is they'll put their shoes outside their door. See, even if the shank is in the shoes, as long as it's outside the door, we cannot accuse them of having it because it can be planted on them at any time. So a lot of the inmates, what they'll do is they'll stick their shoes outside the door, and then inside the tongue of the shoe or in the shoe, it can be hiding in plain sight. It'll be in there. And as you see in the picture that I showed you, these shanks can be literally made out of anything. Some of the ones that I found were the actual side of the windows, the swirly part that raises the window up and down. They'll cut that out and then sharpen that. So now you got a swirly part with a point on it. So when you stick it in somebody and pull it out, it's just ripping everything. It's like a buck knife. And then the one shank that I found actually had like 4 or 5 shanks wrapped to it in plastic wrap. It's kind of crazy. But if you like this video and you want to see more content, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Brad's Crazy Life. Over and out.